You didn't know, but here's what I did not want to have happen, Erica. I did not want you to steal my $100,000.
Going forward, just in this next couple weeks, like how could we work together so we can keep A&A? I requested a peace officer.
Why are you saying I sold it? I think it's best if we do sell it. Okay, so I'm trying to sell it for $1 million plus bucks. I don't have no power.
Because your name was mentioned and not his. You did the deal according to what he told me.
I just called it just to, I didn't know what kind of relationship he said Erica and he had, so I just didn't know what I was getting into. I didn't know if I was going to get stabbed walking in here, so I just wanted to see. But he's helping out, and we're trying to figure it out. So we're all good.
He wants his dad to talk to him, not
his
you.
Dad can't.
I was talking
I'll
to him.
knock his head. When you talk to him, you talk to me.
No, I'll talk to him.
No.
Because
You talk to him, you talk to me.
you can listen.
I'm his voice. I don't have no say-so to sign over anything.
You didn't know.
He wanted to.
This person talks shit about you, and this person talks shit about you, and this person talks shit about you. Okay,
You disturbed a lot of people. And I hate to say that, Drew. You're a good person.
Good, I'm Drew.
Deputy Schwitters.
Deputy Schwitters, what's your badge number, please?
5855.
I think it's best if we do sell it. Okay, so I'm trying to sell it for $1 million plus bucks. Why are you saying I sold it? Didn't even know that the land was only in your name and your LLC only. Wait a minute. We didn't even know that it was sold.
You're like the Black Widow.
I'm not against you.
Yes, you are. But here's what I did not want to have happen, Erica. I did not want you to steal my $100,000. Record everything we do.
No. I'm actually calling to speak with you, Drew. Sorry.
Yeah,
Okay, just to
no,
let you know,
my
I'm
dad
recording.
can't speak. Yeah, no, I expect you to record too. Please do.
Okay. Hey, so Drew, are you in private right now, sir?
Yeah, I'm sitting at home right now.
Okay. Hey, cool. All right. So I got like a call for service to check on. It looks like your dad, Joseph.
Yes.
Hey, so what's going on?
So my dad started having strokes in 2017.
Okay.
And he lost the ability to speak, interact. I tried to get him to text me in front of me to see if he was capable of texting. He can't. In front of me again, he tried to write things down on a piece of paper, and it's not legible. I recorded all of these things. And in 2021, somewhere in there during the pandemic.
Hold on real fast. So sorry to cut you off. So Drew, so in 2017 when he had the stroke is when you did this?
No, that's when all of this started. I'm giving you the timeline of when the stroke occurred. I apologize. So yeah, his stroke. He was single. Everything was cool in life. Grandkids were around, and we went one day to go-kart racing, and he wouldn't go-kart racing. And throughout my entire life, he's always been this guy that just does stuff, never turns anything down.
Okay.
And for the first time in my life, he turned down going go-karting with his grandchildren. And I started watching him, and I'm going, his speech is getting worse. He's slurring. I'm seeing a decline from that time until about 2018, 19, which is when this woman came into his life. And she started slowly taking over his life at that point in time. And then in 2021, somewhere in there, miraculously, they got married.
Okay, and at this time, is he speaking? Is he still?
Not very.
Does he have the ability to speak and communicate?
A little bit, not a whole lot back then. It's even worse now, but yeah, not very much. So anyways, he married her, and he'd already had cognitive decline at that time very significantly, where I could not speak with him intelligibly at that point in time.
And so he's like 80 years old at this point, right, sir?
Yes. So this is
Okay.
we're dealing with elder abuse right here, and financial crimes.
Well, so Drew, I'm trying to wrap my head around this, because when I look at the statute of like elder abuse, it's someone that's like placed in care of them. And when people get married,
Yeah, that's the problem with this. So
it's not criminal when they're married. And the reason I say that is because if you and your wife get married, we can investigate domestic abuse and that kind of stuff.
right,
I
but
can investigate domestic abuse, but elder abuse is when someone's entrusted in them, sir.
right,
And
but if you've had a stroke and you cannot speak and you have troubles with communication, can you enter the contract of marriage?
well, sir, that's kind of hard for me to say when they've been
Right. Well,
married for 4 years.
that's why I'm asking you to investigate.
Well, the problem is they're married now, and
Yeah, but she committed fraud on me, and I can prove that.
she committed fraud against you. When did this happen?
Well, see, that's where I was going to in the story. So, anyways, we owned A&A Towing. My father and I ran the business. I paid him half the money for the last couple decades. So, anyways, I bought some property in Carson City to maintain control over my property and make sure the business that my father and I both mutually benefited from. He got half the money, I got half the money. That was our father-son deal.
Uh-huh.
So she comes into his world, and now she tries to take over A&A Towing from me. And she transfers control and the power of A&A Towing on May 27th with the Secretary of State. My father is not cognizant to do this with this asset. So she did that. That was a criminal activity with the corporation. She went and changed the board of directors. She went and changed the corporate management structure, selling the business without giving notification to me. And at the same point in time, she also sold my dirt, my real property. Because the real property was owned by me and my holding company, Rebar Holdings LLC. And she committed the crime of fraud by selling that property to another man that walked into my property and then and I record everything, remember this, and informed me that he now owns all of this stuff. And I said, well, that's really interesting, because what are you going to do about the dirt? And I just explained to him what I explained to you. I own the fucking dirt. So anyways, that deal that she did in secret unwound because she didn't know what she was selling. And what she's done since she married my father, that she married after he'd stroked out, after he was mentally incapacitated, all of the assets that she's been able to get a hold of into her name. Prior to the stroke, my father had trusts. The trusts were very specific. And the people that were named in those trusts prior to him stroking out and becoming mentally incapacitated, all of those assets have now been transferred to this woman. Did I just describe a crime?
It would be criminal if they weren't married.
She doesn't get to sell my property. I'm not married to her.
Well, Mr. Rebar, the problem I have is when she married him, they take ownership of stuff together unless there's like a prenuptial agreement.
No, if you go into marriage, it's community property.
Correct.
And it's community property, and what you establish together during the community is community property. If you have real property, like my father had a house in South Hills for 40 years that was solely in his name, and you have equity in that property. She comes into his life, she has no equity in that property unless they start to commingle their assets. And guess what she did? She convinced him to sell that property that he'd been in for 40 years and moved down into Sparks.
Right.
And then she converted that money from that property sale, that real property sale that she convinced a mentally incapacitated man to engage in. So you need to look at the crime of his mental capacity at the time that these decisions were made. Did he have the mental capacity to do this? Were these the things that he wanted done before he lost the mental capacity? The history that I've got of the trusts that were supposed to go to his children, his daughters were I'm not supposed to get the equity in that house. My sisters were supposed to get the equity in that house. She stole that from them by taking the property, having it sold, going and buying another property. Would you want that to happen to your parents?
No, that's why I would, if I was in that situation, I'd try to take like power of attorney.
Well, but he's mentally incapacitated. Does he have the authority to issue a power of attorney?
No, but you have the ability to go to a doctor and have a doctor be able to make that determination.
Not if you don't control the father. If she's controlling him, you can't do shit.
Right.
I
And
tried.
That's the problem.
I tried. I talked to my attorney. His name is Richard Salvatore. And he goes, "There's nothing you can do, man." So I filed a complaint with Adult Protective Services just a few days ago. And they don't do a whole lot either. So what I'm hearing you tell me is this is a really, really big problem, and we need to fix the law.
It's definitely a legality issue for sure.
Yeah. So can you have a sergeant look at it or whatever? I'm also gonna talk to Kenny Furlong because it also happened in his jurisdiction too, because that's where my property is located. And so what you're telling me is my stepmother has the legal authority to sell my real property that she does not have any title to or control of, and she can do that legally in Washoe County.
Well, it sounds like to me is that it's a civil matter that you need to.
So her doing that is not a crime to enrich herself. So I just want a yes or no answer at this point. It
sounds like to me is that she's acting on behalf of her spouse.
And is my father legally allowed to sell my real property? So it's not a crime for my father or my stepmother to sell my real property.
Well, it sounds like it was mutual property.
No. Rebar Holdings LLC holds title to the property legally located at 2730 Conestoga Drive. Now we can all go look this up at the recorder's office and see how it's titled, and we can go look at the Secretary of State's office and see whose name is the sole manager of Rebar Holdings LLC, and you'll find that it's me. So is Joe Rebar or Erica Hufford Rebar legally allowed to sell that property?
Well, it sounds like she did sell that property, sir.
Okay, is that legal for her to do?
No, I'm confused on how they could allow us, like how the county could allow a sale.
Well, the county didn't allow it. I blocked it before it happened. But is that legal for her to take that action, or is that the definition of fraud?
I mean, that sounds like it's somewhat fraud right there.
Okay, so am I reporting a crime?
When did this occur, sir?
That occurred on May 27th.
It occurred on May 27th last year?
Yep.
And you're reporting it now,
Yep.
7 months later?
Yep. And there's very good reasons for that.
Okay. What are those reasons, sir?
Because I became disabled on March 19th of 2025 when I was rear-ended by a JB Hunt truck. Erica has been trying to take over my 50% legal ownership, or not legal, however you want to phrase it, my ownership, my deal with my father, that he and I owned A&A Towing together. I ran it. I made all the decisions. I did the whole thing for 20 years. And he got half the money, and I got half the money. When she came into his life, she tried to take me out of the business and fire me. So she,
And you guys had like a contract with all this stuff, of your guys' agreement?
I've got 11 years worth of text messages, and part of those text messages say, let's sell it 50-50.
Okay.
So I can, and if you want to go back into the history of my working with Washoe County Sheriff's Office, and let's go into all the contracts that I've done with the Washoe County Sheriff's Office over the years that have my signature on them and never his.
Oh, I think that then you have enough
So
to establish that.
can I prove what I've done for the last 20 years? You're talking to a man that records everything, right?
Correct. That's what it sounds like to me, sir.
Have you ever watched anything that I've ever done, or do you know anything about me? Have you heard about me before?
I have no idea who you are, sir.
Okay. Anyways, I'm a candidate for Nevada Assembly District 40.
Well, congratulations.
No, I don't want to do this fucking shit. I just want to fix the problems. I'm pissed off. That's the only reason I'm doing this. I'd rather not be in politics or any of the bullshit. But there's a problem, and you're describing part of the problem as we have this discussion, because what I'm describing is not a unique situation. Based on my research, this happens to 1 out of 10 families.
Oh, that's more problematic than I would think, because this is the first time I've ran into something like this.
Of elder abuse, yeah. So, well, and it's largely unreported.
Well, there's a lot of elder abuse that gets reported, sir. It's like I explained to you before, sir.
But the financial issues.
Hold on. I'm going to cut you off, Drew. All right. So I'm allowing you to talk, and I'm not talking over you. And now I'm talking, and you're talking over me, sir. That's rude, and it's not going to work, sir. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to get off this phone. I'm going to go check on your dad, and I'm going to give you a call back. All right, sir? And when I call back, I'll have some more information about what I observed. All right, sir?
Okay.
All right. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.
This is Drew on a recorded line.
Hey, Drew, Deputy Figueroa with Washoe County Sheriff's Office, recording with my body-worn camera. I just want to get back in contact with you. I came out to your parents' house, or your dad's house, and his wife, Erica. I didn't observe anything that would raise any red flags of any type of abuse. It sounds like Adult Protective Services is going to come out here next week at your request. If they get in contact with you, please forward my information to them. I told Erica the same thing, to have my information provided to them. It sounds like you guys got some stuff going on with the business stuff, that you guys have loose ends that need to be tied up.
Well, there are no loose ends other than she inserted herself and tried to take control of the business that she had no legal authority to take control over, and to steal it and enrich herself.
Yeah.
So that's the fraud.
Yeah, and like I told you earlier, that's one of those things where it sounds like you've tried to get some attorneys involved or something like that.
I haven't done that yet. I've just told my business attorney what's going on, so that way he's aware. I've told my accountants what's going on, so that way they're aware. And I'm just trying to put it out into the light, because what she's done, I don't know if you saw that video, but what she's done is she tries to keep everything real secret. For example, changing around the Secretary of State's registration with the business, corporate officers, making unlawful changes to those documents and those records, and trying to sell things that she does not own or have legal control over. So that's the fraud that's involved. So,
Yeah, and like I said earlier, that's one of those civil matters when
no, fraud's
they're
not a civil
married.
matter. Fraud's a criminal matter, and
No, like I told you earlier, Drew, they're married. They have assets together.
well,
I think
she
you have
never
like
made a single dollar of those assets.
right, and like I told you earlier, that's
She did not contribute to the property. She's only diverted the property away from him and put it into her name to control it. So that's what she's done. So I mean, if Sheriff Balaam doesn't think that's a crime, like, well, that's on Sheriff Balaam.
oh, like I said, they're married, and unless they have a prenuptial agreement,
Well, no,
it's
she married a disabled man that had stroked out, that had mental disabilities, and was not aware. You saw the video that I sent you where he said, "I did not know." Did you see that video?
I did not see the
So you,
videos.
so you should look at. I sent you a couple of videos. One of them will be her sitting there saying that if you talk to him, you talk to her. He's got no voice. She makes all the decisions. And then if you look at the other video, you'll see where he said, with regards to the sale of the corporation, the business, that he did not know.
Mm-hmm. Drew, I have a couple questions for you. Do you have any siblings?
I do.
And are they in contact with your dad?
No, she's pretty much alienated them from him too. That's if you go look at the classic signs of what's going on here. There's classic history of alienation. This is financial misrepresentation that she's done, and she's stealing.
Well,
Like I told you earlier, there were trusts before he had his strokes, and my sisters were named in those trusts to get the assets from his house that he'd been in for 40 years. So she took my sister's assets that were supposed to be theirs upon his death, the 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 equity in his house that he'd had for 40 years, and she took that and transferred it to herself.
okay. And so, like I asked you earlier, this is an ongoing thing. Why is it coming to light in 2026? Why did you guys not contact APS sooner? Why did you guys not go to a doctor? And
How can I control him when I can't get near him? How can I get to a doctor when she's in total control?
but it's not about control. It's about when he had a stroke. You told me that he had a stroke 9 years ago.
He had a
And if
stroke
you
in
saw the mental,
2017, yes.
if you guys saw mental decline then,
Because he was seeing a doctor, and then she came into his life and took over and alienated the children.
okay.
And so now what you're dealing with is she's had this time to take control, and I'm a person that documents everything, and I like to make sure before I make accusations of criminal intent that I can prove them. So what I'm telling you now, the reason I waited till now to do this is because I was gathering the documentation and the information and making the recordings of all of the actions. Now she's completed the actions and done the crime, so now I'm reporting the crime. Prior to this, I was not certain that I could confirm the crime, but now with my videos and now with my conversations, with the movement of the Secretary of State's business information on Silver Flume, where she went and changed the officers of the corporation, where she did these things that were unlawful, now I can prove them. I could prove that he had a stroke back when he had a stroke, but could I prove that she was taking illegal actions at that time? No, I had to wait for the illegal actions to occur prior to making a police report. So now the actions have occurred. Now I'm making that police report. So I'm like I said, I went to APS. That was the first stop that I did the other day, and I talked to them. And they told me what they would and would not do, and they suggested I file a complaint with the sheriff. So now I'm filing that complaint with Washoe County Sheriff. So if Balaam wants to take care of it, I've personally had conversation with Kenny Furlong, and I'm going to make a complaint with the Carson City Sheriff's Office officially through that direction. And then I'm also going to go to the Secretary of State's office and make a complaint with them for her unlawful transfer and changing of the corporate assets within Silver Flume. Because there's multiple levels of crime here. One with the Secretary of State's where they've got jurisdiction, because you don't get to go into a corporation, change the officers around unlawfully without the board of directors authorizing it or the proper authorization from a corporate level to change ownership to try to steal my equity. So, like I said, if Washoe County sees that a woman comes into a disabled man's life and tries to transfer all of his property over the course of his 80-year lifetime and make that her property, and if Sheriff Balaam thinks that's okay and not the crime of fraud, and I've taken my 10-year history, 11-year history of text messages between my father and I, downloaded in my computer, and then I've asked AI to examine them 3 different ways and 3 different AIs, and they all come up with the same conclusion, that she is committing fraud and she is committing elder abuse. So,
And did you ask your AI if a husband and a wife can
yes,
commit fraud against each other?
yes, because that's classic elder abuse, because she married him when he was not competent. He was not competent to enter a contract or deal with these things after he was disabled.
Was there a doctor who?
Oh, I'm sure.
It-
I'm
No,
sure
no,
you've
no,
got
no.
a doctor.
Hold on, Drew. Like I told you last time, you have this thing where you want to talk over people and interject yourself before they can even finish their sentence. I'm not. That might work with the people in your life, sir, but I'm telling you right now, stop. I'm asking you a question. My question is, do you have legal documentation from a doctor after he had his stroke that he was unable to make those legal decisions?
Well, that would be at the
It's a
veteran.
yes or no question. Yes or no?
You know, I think that you're really not
Okay.
interested in helping me, so I think
No,
that
no, no.
I think
Sir.
that we just need to end the conversation, and I'll just do what I do and take the route that I'm going to take. If Sheriff Balaam's office is not interested in investigating elder abuse and the theft of a man's 80 years worth of work to a brand new wife after he's had a stroke, and you want to accuse me of talking over you, I don't think that we really have. I don't think you're going to do much for me. So I think we're going to end the conversation. And I've made the report. I've tried to do the things that I'm going to do. Now I'll just take other actions and try to solve the problem another way, other than utilizing what really is a worthless sheriff. So you have a nice day.
You too, sir. Enjoy your chat GBQ or whatever it is you use in YouTube. Have a good day.
No.
You didn't know, but here's what I did not want to have happen, Erica. I did not want you to steal my $100,000.
Going forward, just in this next couple weeks, like how could we work together so we can keep A&A? I requested a peace officer.
Why are you saying I sold it? I think it's best if we do sell it. Okay, so I'll try to sell it for $1 million plus bucks. I don't have no power.
Your name was mentioned and not his. You did the deal according to what he told me.
I just called it just to, I didn't know what kind of relationship he said Erica and he had. So I just didn't know what I was getting into. I didn't know if I was going to get stabbed walking in here. So I just wanted to see, but he's helping out and we're trying to figure it out. So we're all good.
He wants
That's
his
the
dad
problem.
to talk to him, not
His
you.
dad can't.
I was talking
I'll
to
knock at her. When you talk to him, you talk to me.
No, I'll talk to him
No.
because
You talk to him, you talk to me.
you can listen.
I'm his voice. I don't have no say-so to sign over anything.
No.
You didn't know.
He wanted to.
This
person talks shit about you. This person talks shit about you. This person talks shit about you. Okay,
You disturbed a lot of people. And I hate to say that, Drew. You're a good person.
Good. I'm Drew.
Deputy Schwitters.
Deputy Schwitters, what's your badge number, please?
5855.
I think it's best if we do sell it. Okay, so I'll buy the seller for $1 million plus bucks. Why are you saying I sold it? Didn't even know that the land was only in your name and your LLC only. We didn't, wait a minute. We didn't even know that it was sold.
You're like the Black Widow.
I'm not against her.
Yes, you are. But here's what I did not want to have happen, Erica. I did not want you to steal my $100,000.